not only go not only go against the draft, but to change your name and convert to Islam and use that as your basis for not being willing to fight.
Yeah. And he always just delivered things, like quite political, controversial things with just like such humor and just so charming. And yeah. And anyway, I'm going off track. Sorry, guys. I was just wafting around in that vibration for a while. Um, okay, what are we doing? Yeah. Hi, Travis. How you going? There's a new face.
Hi.
Welcome to the group.
Welcome, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
And with this many people, please, only one question. You're muted, Samir.
Oh, yes. So if you just if you want to ask a question, if you put your name in the chat box and then Ray's kind of organizing a list there. So he can, I don't know how he's doing some magic there. And keep it.
The chat box.
So I have my friend Rima joined today.
Oh, amazing. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Rima. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Rima.
Coming.
Hey, hi. Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, Rima.
Okay, so I'll just take a few minutes and get in the state and then we're away. Greetings, this is Zariyah from the Orion civilization. We are so pleased that you could join with us today to hear a brief transmission on your perfect path. The focus of the transmission today is to help you align with the idea that your path is specifically designed in every detail, in every stone, in every turn, and in every obstacle perfectly for you. The moment that you are now at in this 2024, you are seeing lots of diverging timelines from your vantage point of the now. And you are seeing many different actors on many different stages, making many different choices. And you are testing whether or not you align with their preferences and how you interpret their preferences and your timeline and your path. And this can create some sensations of doubt or fear or confusion. Are you on the right path? Are other people going wrong? And should you somehow steer them right? Is your path strong enough, bright enough, long enough, fulfilling enough for you? And we are here to help you understand that if you were to, not that you could do it, but if you were to walk on anybody else's path, you would feel deeply unsatisfied and deeply uncomfortable. And that is because your path is a vibrational match to your specific vibrational signature frequency. How exciting. And the nature of that path has been designed in every detail for your specific and unique expansion. And therefore, every hair on your head, every encounter on your route, every what you might consider obstacle on the road has been designed with your unique expansion in mind. And we would like to help you to understand that the way that you can manifest magic, miracles, synchronicity, and joyful expansion on your path is to embrace that knowingness. And how do you embrace that knowingness? By recognizing that the path is a reflection of the unconditional love that you are cultivating for yourself. The path is an opportunity for you to cultivate further that unconditional love of self. One of the primary themes of humanity, the broader humanity, has been to cultivate that sense of self-worth and unconditional love. And that is a result of the impression of the wound of abandonment that was inflicted, or perhaps was integrated into the human psyche when the visitors from other planets, such as the Anunnaki, who did once walk with humans, left humans to, in a sense, fend for themselves, although this was not the case. What they were really doing was having humans expand and grow on their path into their realization of their highest potential. Nevertheless, in the collective psyche, that did leave some wound of abandonment and a deeper wound of worthiness. And as a individual on your path, one of the most exciting steps that you can take towards contact is to cultivate in yourself that positive self-worth, that unconditional love, and that deep self-regard. And part of the way you can do that is to stay focused on your path, to not look sideways at the paths of others in comparison. There is a saying on your planet, comparison is the thief of joy. And we will say, yes, it is so, because everybody's path is unique to them. And in that sense, we would say both comparison and judgment do not serve you in the embracing of your own path with the unconditional love that it requires. We do hope that in the integration of this message on your journey, that you are open to the miraculous abundance and the joyous synchronicity that has been built in to your path just for you. How exciting. We thank you for listening to this brief transmission, and we will say if there are questions from the group, we are happy to take them now.
Hi, Zariyah.
Hello.
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment about last week's presentation because it had such a profound effect on me.
Yes.
Becoming more aware of subtle vibrations is made a dramatic change in the way I'm going through my life, through my day. And what I noticed is
dramatic or subtle?
Subtle vibrations, yeah. And I noticed that I'm constantly getting guidance, and that so I go through my day saying thank you for this guidance, for this help, for this support. And well, it's really quite joyous. It's and I never had as deep a sense of that before until I listened to your presentation a couple of times. and decided that I was going to make a change in my life, and it's been a big one for me. So I just thank you for last week.
Well, we are so pleased. And the act of appreciation, as you describe it, certainly appreciates the magnitude of your experience. And that is what is so exciting about appreciation. And so we thank you for sharing that experience with us. We are so grateful.
Hi, Zariyah. I have a question regarding nature versus nurture.
Yes.
So, did we decide on what we'll be good at or what we want to do before we came through our physical form, or is it something that we only find out once we're already in our physical environment, or is it both?
Yes, well, in a sense, it is a dance. You do have various themes of exploration that you come in with the intention to unpack. But how you unpack that is a question of the operation of your physical mind, your emotional body, your preferences, your personality preferences. Of course, you do choose on some core level all of your experiences that are, in a sense, formative, because it is those experiences that are likely to help you to or guide you through the exploration of the theme that you have come to explore. And it is for that reason that we tell you to love your path, because your path has on it all of the experiences that you are likely to benefit from having in terms of exploration of your chosen theme. Of course, when you are walking the path, how you engage with those experiences is much more a question of your own agency. And we use that word with some trepidation. We don't want you to think that you are not a free agent in this physical incarnation. Of course, you are. It is just that you specifically chose before this incarnation that you wanted to explore some specific themes in this or walking along this path, as you have done in your counterpart forms, walking along many other paths. And we are seeing for you in particular a crisscrossing of hundreds of paths. You have chosen, we will just describe to you the image that we are seeing. There is paths that have versions of Liz on them, walking all of the paths and coming up to the experiences that are allowing her to explore various themes that she has chosen on those paths. And she is walking along those many paths, oblivious to her multiple selves experiences. But there is one Liz on one path who is standing up and looking from side to side and recognizing that she has many counterparts and that she could perhaps communicate with them, even though they haven't attempted to communicate with her yet. How exciting this. That is the path you are on with us in this now moment. Does that help?
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Rima? Rima is not available. We're going to go to Jenny then.
Okay, yes, thank you. I heard you say something about our guide team.
Yes.
And I'd like to know a little more about that. I think it's guardian angels and guides, and I'd like to know who these individuals are, and are they just dedicated to one person, or do they have multiple people they help? And also, how can we make the best use of this knowledge that they're there in our lives?
Yes, well, when we say guides, that is an umbrella term for the many beings that are interested in and invested in your path at this time. You have guides, of course, and connections to the angelic realms. And the angelic realms are often considered or described as the first derivation from source energy. They are referred to as the first splitting of source. There is specific angelic guides that you have who are interested in you and the incarnation of every being, because every being is a reflection of source. But it is not just angelic guides that you have. Often you will hear people on your planet refer to a guardian angel, and this is in some senses, a religious description of the spiritual assistance that you have available to you at all times. You have, of course, angelic guides, but you have ancestors, you have a galactic family, you have counterparts, you have connections through your oversoul and your own higher mind, and you have, of course, your connection to source in its most primal form. Therefore, you do have a champion, a group championing your journey, and they are always looking to assist you in your unfolding, because what is happening, the more you learn to communicate with all those beings, is they can, in a sense, promote or facilitate even deeper, even richer, even more exciting expansion as you move along the path. We have said before, the idea that faith precedes the miracle is very much an idea that supports you moving from the third to the fourth dimension. And we do see you as well into the fourth dimension now, because you are reaching out to all of those fifth dimensional energies. And we describe them as that, even though the angelic realms are higher than that, but in the sense that they are non-physical and beyond. And what you are doing in the fourth dimension is bringing those non-physical realities into non-physical beings into your reality in such a way that you are in tangible relationship with them. You are in conversation with the angelic realms. You are in communion with your ancestors and your family in spirit. You are uncovering and deepening your relationship with extraterrestrial beings. How exciting. And in that sense, as you begin to trust that relationship, or trust in the knowledge that they are real, they will appear to you in more and more curious ways. It will initially be through physical interactions. We can give you an example. The channel herself has been connecting with the idea of Lilith. And just some days ago, she encountered a bat energy in physical. And the bat is a representation. The winged creature is a representation of Lilith. And in that sense, the initial engagements with non-physical beings will come in a physical representation that is not too startling for you. But as you allow yourself to recognize that those physical interactions are representations of greater spiritual communication, the spiritual representations made to you will become more etheric. And then you will really start to shatter your understanding of reality and crack the illusion somewhat. We don't want you to crack it totally. The fourth dimension is about balance between the fifth and the third, not transitioning out of the third into the fifth. However, it is very exciting to think that you could bring into physical fifth dimensional representations while you are walking that fourth dimensional path. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. And can we purposely do things to enhance this communication?
Yes, it is about asking for the communication and allowing yourself to recognize with a full-hearted commitment the communication when it happens. For example, the amount of times we have communicated in ways we would think are very obvious to beings on your planet, and yet only moments after the communication, beings will say to themselves, I must be crazy. That never happened. I couldn't believe that that really happened. If you have a suggestion in your mind that an altercation or an interaction with an animal, with an element of nature, with a brief sighting of a non-physical being, with a coincidence, a synchronicity, or an extraordinary happening, if you allow yourself to know that that is communication from non-physical and not judge it and not question it and not try to forget it, non-physical will understand that you are open to greater and more clarion communications, if that helps.
Yes, thank you.
You are so welcome.
Rima?
Hey, hi. Sorry I missed my turn. I, just wanted to ask because this is my first day and there's a lot of queries in my mind. But
Yes.
what I wanted to ask is, like, when you're doing something and there is some call inside your head, like, you should say you're taking a decision and there is
Yes.
this, so we have this conscious, subconscious mind. But sometimes they say that it is a direction from the different dimension. So is it the same way? Is it
Yes.
like that?
You are trying to separate out, if we understand you correctly, the worries or the instructions from the physical mind and what is true guidance from the higher mind. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, and we will tell you that the greatest clue you can have is to ask yourself how the communication makes you feel. If you are having communications from your physical mind and it is a monologue of must-dos, and you begin to feel overwhelmed and exhausted, uninspired and flat, you can be assured that communication with your higher mind does not elicit that emotional response. The communication with your higher mind will help you to feel abundant, calm, serene, excited, anticipatory, and self-loving. Does
Okay.
that help?
Yeah, it does. It does. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Mehu?
Hi, Zaira. I
Hello.
really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you. So my question is in relation to what we refer to as Bashar's formula. Are you aware of the formula?
We are.
Okay, so my question is, how should someone go about acting on their highest excitement within the steps of the formula when you may have a lot of trouble determining what excites you because your state of being, like your default state of being, the state of being you just wake up feeling and living throughout your day-to-day life is just very flat, maybe null. And no matter what little permission slips you try to use to raise your state of being, to get excited, to understand what your excitement is, if they all just sort of don't take you all the way and you just really don't know what to do and you just want to do nothing and just sit and or just buy into your intellect all over again, but sometimes you might get tired of that because you see that it doesn't take you anywhere. So my question is, what should someone do in this type of situation?
Yes, well, the first thing we would say is to examine whether or not you are putting some insistence on where the excitement has to take you, as you describe. We do understand that part of the formula that Bashar describes is to not have insistence on the outcome of following your excitement. And that would be one place to begin exploring. What we would also say is that you can begin with the understanding that the longest journey begins with the smallest step. And if you are even able to have the perception shift that the tiniest step that you make towards a slight vibrational shift upwards is the most exciting thing you could ever do, that should help you to release the idea that you need to do things faster or go further or be more proficient at following your excitement or raising your vibration. The reason that often the idea of excitement is referred to is because it is a genius compass for raising your vibration. The vibration of excitement is really the vibration of unconditional love and, in a sense, knowing of synchronicity, a knowing and a love of the path. And if you can know and love that even the tiniest step, say that being a step from lying in bed not wanting to get up, to lying in bed and thinking how lovely it would be to make yourself a coffee, or having a coffee and thinking how lovely it would be to go outside and smell that rainwater off the leaves of the trees or whatever might be your natural surrounds. Those vibrational shifts represent the greatest shifts you could ever take on your journey, on your path, because they are the jumps that you are making in that now moment. And you are showing yourself that you can make those jumps, that you can change your reality, that you can move to a more exciting vibration just in a slight shift of perspective and allowing your excitement to emerge within you. It doesn't take a reinvention of the wheel. It just takes an allowance of the bubbling up of your true vibration to find expression through a belief system that may have been attempting to suppress it for some time. Does that help?
A little bit. I'm wondering if I can ask a follow-up question
Yes.
in relation to the question I asked. All right, so let's say you wake up, but it's like your natural state of being is so compartmentalized off that trying to enjoy the smallest things to just feel good and raise your state of being can become very difficult. Or if it's possible, it might just last for so little amount of time, you find difficulty being inspired to do something else. And what if that ends up causing you to not be so motivated to do those sort of things because you may prefer to feel more excitement that lasts a bit longer, so that you can have like a continuous flow throughout your day of acting on your excitements in your day-to-day life and not really making a set time to do things or trying to create reasons to do things or anything like that.
It seems that you have identified quite exactly what is your highest excitement. You just articulated that you would like to move through your day without having to worry about focusing on specific tasks. You would like to have a flow of consistent vibrational excitement throughout the course of your day. That certainly sounds exciting to us. Does that not sound exciting to you?
That sounds, intellectually speaking, sounds very exciting, but but like it's hard to really feel excited about something for me because it just takes a lot of energy to get me to do it. I don't know why.
We would say that this is the example where you can look at your emotional state. In last week's transmission, we were talking about the emotional body as being a guidance to how far you are or how close you are in communication with your higher mind. And if you are feeling deflated or depressed or despairing, that you are in communication likely with your physical mind rather than your higher mind. And your physical mind is constructed quite strongly, quite cleverly on a number of beliefs. And if you really feel that your emotional body is very insistently pointing you in a direction, saying that you are feeling despairing or hopeless or unmotivated in a way that you can't break out of, that is a very good indicator that you need to return to the beliefs that are informing your physical mind, to investigate what are your beliefs and how are they serving. In a sense, we would ask you, how does it serve you to not really feel excited about anything?
Thank you. That'll be all for now.
Hi, Zariyah.
Hello.
You have triggered so many thoughts in me today as you have gone through these questions and the original transmission.
Yes.
But my question has shaped throughout the presentation as a result of all the things that you have said. But I'll
Yes.
try to make it very concise. It really has with set of experiences that I started having earlier this year, in which I consciously enter into a meditative state using breath. And I
Yes.
started basically asking for different versions of me to come forth and to show me the way, in very particular, cases, a better version of me that has mastered this.
Yes.
I need to bring that energy in. And I also did that with connecting to the planet and trying to bring vibrations, energies and vibrations that would complement me, nurture me, assist me in whatever ways known and unknown to me.
Yes. How
And
exciting. This
and
is
both
a
of them, I
fourth
thank you.
dimensional
Both of them
activity.
I did using breath. Okay, breath was the carrier, and then silence periods, and then me sort of doing some affirmations here and there,
Yes.
good boys, basically. And so as I am here now, this concept of mastering vibrations that you have so clearly put out in the last session and this one emerges with all of that. And I have this desire to try to bring other people into experiencing vibrations in an environment in which we can co-create an experience. You know, they're helping me, I'm helping them, so to speak. What other ways? Breath would be one, and co-creation would be another one. But what other ways can you add to the ways in which mastering vibration and mastering multiple timelines, versions of myself, counterparts, and so forth, to bring them all into, I don't know, an assemblage of information and energies and vibrations that
Yes,
adds to
well,
what I'm doing.
we do enjoy this expression and assemblage of vibrations. How exciting. That is a wonderful description of reality in one sense. What we will tell you is that there has been, in many cultures and on many timelines, a realization that the focus on breath is very powerful because it is connecting not only the heart, but you with the consciousness of the unseen world and how life-giving that is. You understand how when you take in a breath, that it is not something that you are communing with that appears to you in physical reality. However, it is life-giving. And if you stopped communicating with oxygen in this way, you would indeed not carry on in physical in that sense. And so the recognition of the importance of breath and breath work as a bridge to consciousness communication has been very practiced on your planet for many different cultures and throughout many time periods. But we will tell you there is no limitation in terms of the ways that you can commune with others or extend an invitation to others to join you in a vibrational raising activity. And in many cultures, this has been done unconsciously, in a sense, through the arts. You have people who have developed wonderful traditions of dance, of performance, of poetry, of creation of art. And in all of these, there is communion with the divine, with non-physical. And in that communion, you are raising your vibration and at the same time making a high vibrational offering or invitation to others. And in a sense, when you read a piece of poetry, even where the poet is long transitioned, the vibrational frequency range that the poet established in those words still reaches out to you from off the pages and invites you into that vibrational bracket. Even if you are resting your eyes on a piece of art that is some centuries old or some millennia old, the vibrational imprint of those who created it and the invitation into that vibration is still resonant in the experience. And you are no different as you go about co-creating with Source, be that art, be that relationship, be that through an example, be that through food, be that through love and sensitivity. As you go about co-creating those vibrational invitations with Source, you leave an impression and you offer an example, and many people raise their vibration to meet you where you are. And that is really where you get divine alignment. That is really in Orion how we generated that tipping point. We kept making our vibrational offering. And you are right in your intuition that it does not have to be only about breath, because in a sense, breath can be much more a communication between you and non-physical rather than you and other beings in physical. And therefore, there are ways of communicating high vibrational frequency ranges, such as through art, dance, music, food, and love, that are more inclusive in one sense of other beings in your physical reality. Does that help?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question has to do with kind of bridging dream world and physical reality.
Yes.
I'm aware that a lot of people, when they sleep, they have contact with other dimensional beings, ETs, in their dreams. I've
Yes.
had that, but I've also mainly had contact with other humans. Since I was a child, there are some I've grown up with, and it's like physical reality, like there are friendships that are born there and alive. But my question has to do with if you have any advice on how to bring those connections into the physical. The energy is really strong. There's telepathy with them. I know they are humans. I know things about them, but I haven't had contact, funny enough, open contact with other humans in physical reality, even though there are astral realm encounters and dreams. So do you have any advice on blending the world of dreams and physical reality so that it's normal?
Yes, well, we would clarify for you some things that may be going on. The idea that you are having encounters with beings who represent themselves as humans to you could be the case that you are having encounters with your counterparts. You have human counterparts on other timelines, and it is part of the fourth dimensional experience that you are in relationship with those counterparts, and where you begin to share information and develop that relationship is in the dream state, at least initially. And so therefore your intuition that many of them are human is accurate. However, they are counterparts of you in many instances, and are not always necessarily going to manifest on the timeline that you are in now if it isn't relevant. The information exchange that is taking place in the dream state is usually sufficient for you to integrate their knowledge into your timeline now. But there is always more than one thing going on. The other idea is that you are starting to recognize that extraterrestrial beings are family. You are part of the fast becoming sixth hybrid race. And therefore, the idea that extraterrestrial species represent something foreign, something divorced from humanity in a sense, is not accurate. And as you move into the fourth dimension, you start to recognize your place in galactic family, and that many extraterrestrials, in particular hybrid species, are part human in a sense. They are upgraded hominoids in a sense, or at least they have extracted some DNA from hominoids, and in that sense, they are connected to you. There is also the other level of what happens in the dream state, and the level that many people recall most easily is the processing of the physical mind. And so there is, in a sense, unconscious plays that unfold in your dream state to help your physical mind come to terms with all of the experiences that it is sifting throughout the course of what you would consider a day. And all of this is happening during your quote unquote sleeping hours, although we would often refer to them from our side as your waking hours. The possibility that you can meet counterparts on your timeline is also there. It's just a question of it being relevant. And some of your counterparts would also be needing to become physical on your timeline. And that is, in a lot of senses, quite a big ask. If one of your counterparts met you in a dream and said, will you come back with me to my physical timeline? How would you feel?
Interesting question. I'd wonder what their timeline is like before going, but there are a few people I've met who I've already known from dreams. So,
yes,
and some at distance. So I know they are actual people, and the way that I recognize them is that the art we create are from shared dream experiences very specifically.
yes.
So I'm
And
certain they're, yeah.
This is an excellent example of the way that an oversoul works, so that you are sharing information, and as you describe, sharing art and co-creating art, and then realizing that as a mutual co-creation in physical is very exciting. There is also the possibility that, and we don't like to describe things as premonitions because, of course, it is all happening now. But in a sense, your higher self does have an overview of your path, and the beings that are on the path upline, so to speak, are also in reality now. So there is the possibility that you are meeting them in non-physical now and then encountering them in physical in what you would consider upline. Does that help?
Yes, that helps. That makes sense. And the relevancy answer makes perfect sense too. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Hi, Zariyah.
Hello.
So my question also has, kind of got answered and got mixed with other questions. So the first question I had was, can I manifest a miracle?
Yes, you are a manifested miracle. You are. Everything you do is a manifested miracle in every moment. The breath in, the breath out, the awakening, the walking of the path, the joy, the sharing, the high vibrational feeling, miracle after miracle after miracle, as far as we can see.
Yes, perfect, absolutely. So during the low times, can you fake it till you make it? So can you uh, you know uh, have emotions or fake excitement till the time I reach a higher vibration? Does it work like that?
Well, in a sense, you can develop some momentum in the idea of forward focus, in the idea of focusing your physical mind in the place where you would like your emotional body to follow. But we would also say this is a little bit the long way round. The idea that you need to fake excitement is misguided in the sense that there is always excitement available to you if you can relax your physical mind, investigate the belief that is perhaps blocking you from accessing it, and then allow yourself to access it in a true and unfiltered way. Having said that, it is serving you in many respects as you reach a vibrational plateau to recognize that you have reached that in order for you to prepare to continue to move higher. And in one sense, that is what physical reality is about. That is what a physical incarnation is about. It is about the tangibility of the process. It is the physicalness of the process. As you transition, you will reach 333,000 cycles vibrational cycles per second and beyond in a literal instant. So it's not a question of will you get to a high vibrational state and stay there. That is what transition is, no doubt. But you came into physical because you wanted to experience the amplification of your vibration as a result of mastering your thoughts, your communication with your higher self, your emotional body, and your actions. And therefore, when you feel resistance, it is not a sign that you are failing. It is not a sign that you have fallen behind. It's an indicator that there is room for refinement where you can again close the gap and experience the thrill of that before you up level to the next vibrational bracket. Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And one small final question. What is my vibration right now? Frequency of vibration.
Again, we think it is a better idea to gauge the vibrational frequency range of the group in this sense.
Yes, that's right.
And we have the vibrational frequency range of the group averaging at 187,000 cycles per second. How exciting.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Zariyah.
You are so welcome.
Zariyah, can you expand a little bit on the tall whites, which I understand are always with us in our Earth experience, but do not really wish to interact with us directly?
Yes, the tall whites, even in indigenous cultures in Australia, are known as Mimi. They are described as elongated etheric beings. In a sense, what they are is quasi-physical beings who have shared much information with humanity at various significant junctures in your evolution, be they timelines on Lemuria, Atlantis, or the timeline that you are on now. They have not interfered in any significant way, but they have offered communications and knowledge at various junctions to people who have been able to be receptive to what they offer. They are, in a sense, we would like to use the word chaperones, but that is too hands-on. They are, in a sense, companions on the path. They are available to you and interested in your progression, and they have knowledge to share, but they, being quasi-physical, are accessed by those who are interested in communicating with the quasi-physical realms, such as shamans, mystics, and other people of that persuasion. Have you been having visitations?
Not that I am aware of, but I'm certainly open.
They do often slink around, for want of a better word, during misty mornings amidst wooded areas, if that is helpful.
Yep, sounds like a Sasquatch. Thank you very much. That's very expansive. I appreciate it. Renee?
Yes, hi. Thank you for taking my question.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I'm at this crossroads right now, and I've worked really hard for the last 4 years to build a business, and it's about ready to take off finally, because I built it, from the ground up, the website and just everything, the class, the videos, the worksheets, all of it. So it's finally ready to go. And all these things are lining up for me. The bridge I needed to get here in terms of a job was there. It moved us to a beautiful city, a smaller city than we were in. And anyway, I'm at this crossroads and I'm about ready to launch this thing. And for whatever reason,
I'm just terrified. So
Yes.
I could use some advice on how to just do it.
Yes.
Everything is in place.
Yes. We would say that fear is a version of excitement, but infused with a sense of guilt. The vibration of reaching a precipice is indeed exciting, and you have invested much into this endeavor, and you have just acknowledged the synchronicities that took place in order for you to keep going with your venture. And all of a sudden, at that cliff's edge, ready to launch, you have the fear creep up that this is so exciting. What if the synchronicities stop here at the cliff's edge? What if my faith runs out? What if there isn't any further on the path and all of my efforts have been in vain? We will tell you we never heard a physical mind speak so loudly into a conversation. That is not what your higher mind knows. And as we were discussing earlier, the idea of accepting synchronicities with conviction and full-heartedness, the idea of allowing yourself to understand and accept that your path is beset by miracles, that is really the fodder of the fourth dimension. And as you allow yourself to really know that your path is perfect for you, and that every single experience or interaction is a product of perfect and unique synchronicity, then you start to evaporate the fears of the physical mind that are holding you back from taking that next step. The next step on your path couldn't be more perfect, and the flood of miracles that have assisted you this far won't dry up all of a sudden. Only your fear, if you allow it to fade. Does that help?
Yes, yes, it does. And then I have, if I could have one more question, please.
Yes.
Who are the changers? And how
Well,
do I connect?
we will ask you in what sense. There are many guides if you are referring to the watchers. There are many guides and beings interested in your path specifically. There are also many civilizations and beings interested in the awakening taking place on Earth on this and all timelines now. In a sense, you have the opportunity to communicate with a smorgasbord of beings as they come into your awareness. Do you have a sense of who the beings are that you have termed the watchers?
Not the watchers, the changers.
The changers.
Yes. I had read something the other day. I don't even remember where I saw it. It was online, but it was, they had the symbol and it looked like a spiral. And when it went up, it went out and made like a 7. So it was kind of like a 7 on the top. It was flat and then came down into the spiral. And they said it was the symbol of the changers. And I'm on this changing path. So
in a sense, what that is referring to is the change or the upgrade in your DNA. And at this time and at this moment, that is often represented by the spiral symbol. And that change that is taking place is something that is metaphysically unlocked. It is a conception on your planet that there will be a communication with an eternal being that will somehow unlock those DNA codes. But actually, what is going to happen if you allow it is you are going to unlock those codes by raising your vibration. So if you think of the DNA spiral, in one sense, it's representing DNA, and in another sense, it's representing the raising of vibration. You are always going in a circular pattern, but up and up and up. And as you move up, you yourself will unlock your dormant DNA capabilities. And that is what we mean when we refer to the sixth hybrid race. So if that change is having some resonance with you now, it is because you are becoming aware of the process on some level unfolding, we would think. Does that help?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so, so much. I'm very appreciative.
You are so welcome.
It's been an hour, Zariyah. Would you like to wrap up, or you got time for one more?
We can take one more question.
Christian?
Hi, heartfelt greetings to you, Zariyah.
Hello.
So one of the things that you mentioned in your earlier delivery was that we were going to be presented with a lot of choices for discernment and kind of in the splitting realities sort of
Yes.
paradigm. One of the things that's come into my awareness has been information from Tibetans, and I'm wondering if you can speak to that, because right now I'm feeling like there is a sense of trying to discern subtle vibration about them, like a fine wine to discern if it's something that resonates with me or not. But can you add your perspective to that, please?
Yes, we would say that part of the movement into the fourth dimension is as we have described, interactions with many beings that are non-physical. And this will commence in the dream state or through a channeling experience, or also through representations in physical reality of non-physical beings. And in each of those interactions, you have the opportunity to discern where there is vibrational resonance or relevance for you. You see, if you accept that you live in a universe where all perspectives are valid and where all beings are entitled to their perfect path with you as well, then it follows on from that you will certainly unlikely be in resonance with every being or every path. And that the way to filter that is to come into astute awareness of your own capacity of discernment, to recognize if someone is in alignment or a being is a representation of your vibrational preference and your excitement to engage with. And as you go through that process, you will become more and more adept at attracting the vibrational matches and expanding yourself into the vibrational brackets where the beings that you would most like to commune with can commune with you. And therefore, it isn't so much about any singular species being generally in resonance or generally not in resonance. It's about recognizing your capacity to discern whether any beings or all beings are in resonance with you specifically, on your path specifically, because that is where the expansion is, in the expanding of your ability to discern what is a vibrational match and your ability to raise your vibration to be a match to that which you prefer to engage with. Does that help?
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yes, it does.
You are so welcome. If there are no further questions, we will bid you good day. Bye, guys.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Just a bit trippy.
Thank you so much. You're
Oh,
amazing.
thank you so much. I just can't even say how much I appreciate everybody coming and bringing their so diverse questions, and everybody's just got so much intelligence and insight, and like I just feel so lucky that everybody's concentrating their energy for this hour into this space. It just feels really expansive.
Thank
It's
you
great
for
to be a part of it.
Special. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, have a good day, guys. I better
too.
go.
Happy
Thank you,
Friday.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Zariyah.
we'll
Yeah,
speak
Thank
to
you,
you
Ash.
soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great
Bye.
weekend,
Have a
all.
great day.
Mhm.
Blessings.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.